most of you probably know what jamming is.
Some cool musicians meeting in a room full of instruments, jamming and creating awesome music. Such groups are mostly male, good looking, and after their performance surrounded by dozens of horny groupies. So we game developers decided that we can do this too and invented the GameJam. A bunch of nerdy programmers locked themselves into a room to create games in a short amount of time. As a matter of fact, 99% of the jammers are male, but usually not very attractive and definitely not successful with the girls. I'm still waiting for the moment a woman is looking at my project like this.
Maybe this time.
Since I was invited by Vimlarks, who asked me to participate in the GameJam contest. 4 game devs had 48 hours to recreate Asteroids with the special rule, can't stop moving. For everyone who doesn't know it, Asteroids was the shit when your parents were young. You control a spaceship, have to avoid asteroids and shoot them to gain points. An asteroid that was hit by your bullets splits into 2 smaller parts and yeah, that's it.
So I had 48 hours to recreate this masterpiece of a game. That's the game dev equivalent to repainting the Mona Lisa. For such a big task, I should spend every fraction of a second I have. But at this time I was very busy to make the mobile version of Spider-Doll. Instead of 48 hours, I had like 6. So let's get to it.
I started by making the player move to the right. Next, I added the screen wrap mechanic from Asteroids. So if you leave the screen on the one side, you reappear on the opposite side. I created some player control and now you can freely move this ugly triangle. For the asteroids, I got some squares that just move into a random direction. The basics for the game are done.
Now I had one question. Why can't you stop moving? I mean, I could just simply remake Asteroids where you can't stop moving, but that would be very boring. I needed a reason why you can't stop.
And my solutions were bombs. You will spawn them at your position, so if you stop moving, they will kill you. Now you just have to place the bombs in such a way that the square will fly into them and you win. In Asteroids, the asteroids multiply once you hit them, so I did the same for my squares. To make it at least somewhat cool, the bomb needed to explode. I made a very simple particle effect for the explosion and the game could be considered as finished. But I still had about 5 hours, enough time to make the game at least somewhat nice. First, I added some lines between the bombs. All the connected bombs will explode at the same time. Don't ask why I did this. I thought it's cool, okay? Furthermore, having only bombs to attack the enemy would be rather boring. So once you placed 3 bombs, you will shoot. But the game still looks super unexciting. I mean, I had no time for fancy graphics, but I can definitely do better than that triangle. Huh, yeah. We just combine these and spider. At least for the bombs, I spent some more time drawing. Yeah, isn't this lovely? We need just some animations for the spider and this looks actually somewhat decent. But I mean, I can't keep the squares. For the asteroids, I drew this beetle, animated it, and boy, you aren't a crab. Learn how to walk, dude. Thanks. And that's almost it. In the end, I had no time left, so I couldn't even record the progress. This is the final game for the first round of the contest. The red circle on the body means that you can place a bomb, and when the head is glowing red, you can shoot. Additionally, I added some simple sound effects and the level system. In level 1, you have to fight 1 big beetle. In the second level, there are 2 and yeah, I guess you get it. When you get hit, you lose a life, which is indicated by losing a pair of legs. Once you lost all your legs, the game is over. The game was rated and out of the 4 participants, I reached the 3rd place.
This was enough to get to the second round. I guess I can consider myself very lucky since the game wasn't really polished at all, since I just didn't have time for that.
In the second round, we had 24 hours to implement a new feature, namely, the bigger, the better.
A topic I know a lot about. If you know what I mean. Just look at my big ruler. Now, one could think that I learned my lesson from the first round and this time spent all my 24 hours wisely.
Nope. At this point in time, I was desperately trying to get Spider-Doll into the App Store, and this was somewhat more important. I actually even changed the deadline just for me again, but in the end, I effectively worked for like 6 hours. Alright, the bigger the better. To keep it simple, I just created 3 different bomb sizes. The longer you wait to place the bomb, the bigger it will get. But if you wait too long, you will explode.
Now that was easy. It just took me 20 minutes to finish the task for the second round. So for the rest of the time, I polished the game.
This was super necessary. First, I remade the explosion effect to make it cooler and to adjust it to the bomb size. I also improved the bomb connection, so the bombs aren't exploding simultaneously anymore, but they are triggered in a chain reaction. I fixed some weird bugs since this is game development and as usual nothing works as expected. And last, I wanted to make this shooting feel more epic by implementing a slow motion effect. Together with some cool sounds and a nice vignette effect, it feels awesome. To make bigger better, I also added a high score. Big beetles give a higher score than small beetles, and big bombs give you more points than small bombs. And the big shot at the end of the shooting mode also provides additional points when you hit an enemy. That's it, I'm still waiting for the results of this round to see if I can make it to the final. The game definitely improved due to the adjustments I made in the second round, and now it's pretty decent. You can play it on itch.io.
I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you like it, you know the grind. I will now wait for my groupies.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.